Well, the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry has had a detrimental effect due to COVID-19. The Chamber represents approximately 3,000 businesses in eThekwini and beyond, ranging from multinationals to corporates and SMMEs. To take this discussion further, we are now joined and trying to find out exactly how the Chamber had its businesses been affected by the pandemic. We're now joined via Zoom by Palesa Phili, the CEO of the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Ma'am, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so very much for joining us here on SABC News.
Good afternoon, Blaine, and good afternoon to your listeners at home. And thank you for having us.
You're most welcome. Of course, COVID-19 has had a major impact on the province's business sector. What has been the Chamber's sort of role in assisting and supporting businesses, particularly the smaller businesses who've really taken a knock, and many of them, as we've seen, have had to kind of close down during this COVID-19 pandemic? What's been your input and contribution?
The role of the Chamber has really been doing quite a lot of advocacy on behalf of the business community. Since lockdown, we did quite a lot of advocacy for different industries, such as the construction industry, as well as the tourism industry, in really trying to motivate that most of them must be opened. And also, we've really also been quite vocal and advocating as well on a lot of business relief packages that needed to be released to the different businesses.
And how much damage would you say that the pandemic has really caused in terms of business around Durban and beyond? I've seen that the tourism industry seems to be picking up a little bit more. And really, how long do you suppose that this recovery will take? I mean, I suppose it's difficult to kind of gauge because as we always say, we are still in this pandemic. But I wonder if you're looking at it, is there a chance to recover during this time, particularly as we've been put back to level 1?
Unfortunately, the real recovery in terms of 100% recovery will not happen up until we have the vaccines, we have vaccinations done across the country and the province. I think that's when we'll start seeing far better recovery. Of course, needless to say that all business sectors have really been hard hit by this terrible pandemic and its consequences, which don't just include the economic disaster, but also disease burden and having lots of professionals passing away. So those have been just some of the key things that we've seen that have unfortunately devastated the economy. What we've been doing as the Durban Chamber of Commerce, also in partnership with Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal, is we said we also need to focus on the on the import and export sectors, where we felt it was very important to really have a partnership to encourage the current exporters to continue exporting so that at least some of the jobs that are within those industries don't get impacted.
And then, obviously I would like to talk about your own, as a chamber, the challenges that you've had as a chamber dealing with these businesses. Maybe you can talk to us about some of the challenges you've had in this past year that we've had this pandemic.
Of course, I mean, the challenges, even us as a chamber, we were actually also badly impacted. I mean, needless to say, the Durban Chamber looks after, like you mentioned in the beginning, 3,000 formal businesses, and majority of that, those businesses, about 75% is SMMEs. So the SMMEs were really badly affected to an extent that even paying for membership became, a serious challenge for them. So we've really been engaging with different stakeholders to see how can we assist and ensure that we give these, ailing SMMEs the necessary assistance that they need. In fact, right now they need assistance and support of the chamber more than ever, given the critical situation that their businesses are in.
Yeah, and going forward, I mean, let's talk about really the importance of the Durban Chamber in terms of looking after, if I can put it that way, and supporting, offering support to businesses in Durban.
Look, the ongoing support we really have to do is really work with businesses to assist them in also identifying different markets out there. I spoke earlier on about the export markets. We're really working hard, like I said earlier on, with organizations such as Tourism KwaZulu-Natal, Durban Invest Durban, in our city to say how do we ensure that even businesses that are not necessarily exporting, we start identifying some of these markets and get them export ready so that they can be able to either sustain the jobs that they have or make sure that they actually grow them. So it's very, very critical that we focus our attention and energies on job creation and identifying different areas of collaboration. Also, when we look at the informal sector, there's a lot of work that we're also doing where we're saying within the formal sector, how do we start looking at ways to incorporate the informal sector into the formal economy? So those that are operating in an informal sector, how do we ensure that we assist them to get registered and start doing business in the private sector side? So it's really, really trying to assist businesses to really identify different markets there so that they can be able to exist and recover from this pandemic.
All right. Thank you so very much for giving us your time this afternoon. Appreciate the conversation. That's Palesa Phili, the CEO of Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry, speaking to us there.